Hi, I'm Tom with the FCB Launch channel, and in this video I will show you how to create architectural grid in FreeCAD BIM. I will also show you how to place the grid in your drawing, and not only in one level but in several levels, which might prove a bit more complicated than one might expect. I'm using FreeCAD 1.1 in this video. Now, architectural grid is usually used as a basis of a model, and it's used as a reference for placing structural elements like columns or walls. So this is a typical example of a simple grid. So let's close this sample file and let's open up a new architectural project. And to create a grid, we will use the Arch Axis tool, which is this icon. So if I click it, you can see that axis object is created, and you can also see it in the 3D view. So I will look from the top. So we've got the top view, and you can immediately see one grid line. But the important thing to note is that this axis object is actually an array of grid lines. It could be one, but it could be several. So let's say I want to have 4 grid lines which are 7,000 millimeters apart. So to set up axis, I will double click the axis, and this opens up an editing task panel, and here I can add or remove individual grid lines. So I will add another axis, then another one, and another one. I said I wanted 4, and this is the distance from the last one. So I will type in 7,000, and then again 7,000, and then again 7,000, and I will hit close. And now if I zoom out, you can see I've got 4 axes, and if I select this one and measure the distance, you can see it's 7,000 millimeters as I set them up. I can of course change the setup. So if I double click them again, let's say this last should be only 3,500 millimeters apart, I could change them like so. So this is really neat. What you have to know is also if I am moving, so I will fire up the transform tool. If I'm moving one, it's a one object, so all of the axes move together as a one object. So this is quite important to know. And what's also important to know in the setup, I can actually change the angle of the axis. So let's say this last one from the system, if I change the angle to 45 degrees, it will be oriented in this way, but this is not the way to create the perpendicular axis. That we will create another object for these, but you can change angle like so. So your typical grid would actually have axes like these. And now, and let me actually, if I created a wall and it was this long, so let's say the building would be like this. I would of course want to have these axes longer. So if I select the axis object in the data properties, you can see the length, and I can change this length. So if I change it to 7,000 millimeters, it's changed the length from this point. So I will change it to 12,000. So let's say this would be okay for me. But now the bubbles and the numbers are too small. So in the view properties, I can change the font name. So it could be, I could change it to Arial. Then I could change the bubble size. So if I change it to 900, the bubble size is much larger, and now the font is small. So I will change the font size to, let's say 400, maybe 500 should be okay. So this is how you can change how the axes are numbered. And what's important, of course, is the numbering style, because by default it's 1, 2, 3, 4. You can choose from these styles, so it can be 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, etc. or it can be A, B, C, D, etc., or L0, L1, L2, L3, and also these Roman style numbers. So let me change back to the 1, 2, 3 numbering, and I can also state which number should be first, and so I'm typically starting with 1, but if this is some combined axis, I would want to start, let's say, from 5. I would type in 5, and the numbers will be 5, 6, 7, 8. And if it's the numbering, if it's the letters, it will be the 5th letter in the alphabet. So if I wanted to start with the C letter, I would have the starting number 3. Now sometimes you want to have the bubbles on the bottom of the grid lines, so this is the bubble position. So instead of start, I would choose the end, so then they are here. I could choose both, so they are placed like this. Then I could choose none, it could be only those grids. And this is actually for section objects, so I will actually create it here at the start, and I will create a new axis. So I will create axis. They are always created at the beginning of the coordinate system, so I will select this one, and let me change again the bubble size to 900 and the font size to 500. And if I would change the bubble position to arrow left, it's actually used for the sections. So I could use this axis system also for section objects. So for representation of section objects. So I would also change the length again to 12,000, not 1200 but 12,000. And I of course can move this object to where the section would be, and the other styles left or right is where the arrow is pointed. And I can also use this bar left or bar right depending on your country standards. So let me now actually create a horizontal grid system where I will have 3 grid lines and they will be numbered. So I will fire up the axis tool again. I will again change the bubble size to 900, font to Arial, and font size to 500. Now I will right click and transform and rotate it by 90 degrees. And let me also move it, let's say just like so here, and I will hide the walls, and I will want to make them of course again longer, so 9,000 millimeters, 9 meters. I need more. Okay, like so. Let's say this is okay, and then I will double click it again and add 2. And let's say I'm not sure what distances now should be, so if it's 5,000 and 5,000, let's say this is okay for me. Maybe I want to have the bubbles on the other side, so I will go to view, and the bubble position will be end. Now you can see the orientation of the text is not ideal, but once we place this grid on the drawing, on a page, on a TechDraw page, these will be oriented all right. So we will not worry about these in the 3D view, because this will be fixed on a TechDraw page. So let me actually again move the grid like so, and let's say this is okay. So this is how you would basically create your basic horizontal and vertical grid. Now there's one more option, and that is, let's say for this, if I go to the edit mode, I can add labels to each individual line. So if I would add this main grid line, this label, and I will now close. By default this is not shown, but there's this option, show label. If I check this, the labels will be displayed next to each of the lines that is labeled. So I will actually disable this. So this is the basic grid setup, and now I would actually, let's say, use my column tool to place columns at the intersections of these grid lines, or some of them. So you would actually start creating your building. So now let me actually jump into work in progress project, where I will show you how to place grids on my sheets, because I have a level 1 plan view and also level 2 plan view, and I want to have my grid. I will hide the building, and I already have this, typical simple grid, and I want to have this grid in these drawings, and I'm using recommended way of creating drawings with BIM drawing view. So you might be tempted. Let me hide the level 2 section, and I've got this section of the level 1 floor, and you might be tempted to actually place the axes into the section object. So basically they will be cutting the axes. I have placed the axes, both of them, into this group. So let me actually add and show it to you how it will look like in the drawing on the page. So I will edit the section, and I will select the grid group, and I will add it as into the objects that the section is cutting. And now if I close, if I go to this view, you can see that the axes don't have the bubbles, don't have the numbers, and they are not dash dot lines. They are continuous lines. So this is not how we want to use our axes. So I will go again back to the section and remove the grid group from the section object. So now it's just a simple drawing like this. And what I actually want to do is place these axes into the drawing object. So you place your annotations here, like text or dimensions, and the same way we will add axes here. So I will take my grid group and drag and drop it onto the drawing object. So now if I go to page, you can see that the axes are there, the grid system, and you can also see that the numbering, the letters are oriented in the correct way, even though in 3D view they are in a wrong way. On the drawing they are in the correct way, so this is pretty neat. But I want to have this grid group also in the drawing of the level 2 plan, because I want to have it also on this sheet. So how can I achieve it? Because if I drag and drop it here, I would now have the grid in the level 2 plan view, but not in level 1 plan view. So how would I do that? I will drag and drop it back to my level 1 floor. And to do this, we will actually create a link duplicate of this grid group. And link has an advantage that if you change the original objects, the link is changed to, so it's kind of dependent copy of the original group. So I will select the grid group where I have my axis inside. So I will select the group. Now I will go here on the structure panel. If you don't see that, you can right click anywhere on your panels and enable the structure panel. And here is the link tool. If I click this drop down, I have this group selected, and I will use the make link tool. So this creates this grid group 001, which is link. And you can see that the link properties are green. And now I can drag and drop this onto the level 2 floor plan. And now you can see that I've got my grid on the level 2 floor plan and also on the level 1 floor plan. So if I would have more floor plans, I would link the original grid group several times. And you can see the advantage. Let's say if I change the numbering from 1, I will actually want to start at 5. So now I have changed it to 5. I have to redraw the view so it changes in the first floor plan and also in the second floor plan, because this is the linked copy. Now, what is key to know when you are placing your grids using in your drawings, at least in FreeCAD 1.1, that the bubble sizes are dependent on how you set them up in your axis object. So if I select this axis and I change the bubble size to half of that what I have, you can see that if I upgrade it, you can see that the bubble size is smaller, but the letter and number sizes are dependent on the view object on the page. So I've got this TechDraw view selected, and this in the data I have got the font size, and if I change this to 5, you can see that all of the letters have changed their size. So this is currently the limitation of FreeCAD 1.1, and you might know this also from other annotation objects like dimensions or text. So if you need to solve this, you would have to create several TechDraw objects with different font sizes on your page. So this is how you set up and work with architectural grid in your BIM projects. If you like tutorials like this one, consider supporting the FCB Lounge channel by donating through the Ko-Fi page. The link is in the description box below. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next one.